The Prime Minister was forced to defend not one, but two of his ministers in the House of Commons today, standing up to growing calls for the Minister of Veterans Affairs and the Minister of the Environment to resign. Stephen Harper stood by them, only to have his Justice Minister say something that surprised not only the opposition, but many Canadians, about one of the most chilling crimes this country has ever endured. Catherine Cullen was watching it all unfold. Catherine.
Peter, the Justice Minister was challenged on his government's record on gun control, but it was Peter MacKay's comments about what happened 25 years ago during one of the worst nights in Canada's history that shocked the opposition. On that frigid night in December 1989, the shooter at École Polytechnique separated the men from the women. As he opened fire, he screamed, "I hate feminists." He murdered 14 women. It remains Canada's worst mass shooting.
While we may never understand what occurred, why this happened, why these women were singled out for this horrific act of violence, we have to stand together, Mr. Speaker.
NDP leader Tom Mulcair was stunned.
We know why this happened. We know why these women were singled out. It's because they were women.
The shooter killed himself, but left behind a manifesto blaming his failures on women. The NDP say that tells us exactly why the shooting happened.
Is there anything that the minister would like to correct in his previous statement?
The minister seemed taken aback by the criticism.
Of course they were singled out because they were women, Mr. Speaker. That was exactly the point of expressing misunderstanding among anyone out there that would possibly suggest that women and girls should ever be targeted, should ever be subject to violence, Mr. Speaker. That is the emphasis.
That didn't satisfy the NDP leader.
We got back some more bafflegab because he couldn't explain it.
Peter MacKay was angry too and explained what he meant when he said, "We may never understand."
Because of the insanity and the level of violence.
It came on a day the Prime Minister was busy defending two cabinet ministers. There are calls for the Veterans Affairs Minister to go.
Why is he still there?
When will the Prime Minister remove this minister?
This is one huge step forward.
The opposition says Fantino misled Canadians when he announced $200 million over 6 years for veterans' mental health, which turned out to be $200 million over 50 years.
We take care of veterans for their lifetime.
And on Monday, the Environment Minister was caught reading the paper while the NDP asked about reports some in her Nunavut riding were scavenging for food in a garbage dump.
Will the Prime Minister tell his minister to put down the newspaper and start doing her job?
There is no doubt that the people of Nunavut have ever had stronger representation.
So that makes 3 cabinet ministers in hot water this week. It's only Tuesday. Peter?
All right, Catherine. Thank you, Catherine Cullen in Ottawa.